Good evening and welcome to the news roundup for Thursday, the 18th of January. Before we get into the news, please remember to like this video, share your views in the comments, and to share the video with your family and friends.
Reach them! Always make sure the message reach them!
Now for the news in detail. Former St. Mary Western Member of Parliament Julian Silvera has been picked up by detectives of the Major Investigations Division for questioning in relation to the murder of his wife. Melissa Silvera died in November, and initial reports suggested she had died in her sleep. However, an autopsy later revealed that at least 3 bullet fragments were found in her body. The police then announced it had launched a murder investigation into her death. It is understood that Mr. Silvera is to be questioned by detectives shortly.
On November 10, 2023, about 7 a.m., the police initially responded to what appeared to be a death investigation at the residence of Jolan and Melissa Silvera. After the autopsy report, it was revealed that Mrs. Silvera had not died from natural causes, but as a result of possible gunshot wounds. As a consequence, the police elevated the investigation into a murder investigation. Despite public speculation, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, in its commitment to transparency, swiftly launched a thorough investigation to address any concerns of a cover-up. For transparency to be maintained, the matter was reassigned to the Major Investigation Division, MID. Several lines of inquiry were drawn during the investigative process, and having satisfied ourselves that there is sufficient evidence to mount a viable prosecution, as a consequence, consultation was made with the offices of the Director of Public Prosecution, who concur with our findings. Jolan Silvera, the husband of the deceased Mrs. Melissa Silvera, has been taken into custody as a suspect in this case. This significant development is a testament to the dedication of the JCF in serving the public and upholding the principles of being a force for good. The JCF remains resolute in its commitment to transparency, justice, and public safety. We understand the concerns of the public, and this update is provided to assure that our work is ongoing and focused on seeking the truth. I extend my deepest gratitude to the key stakeholders who have played pivotal roles in the exhaustive and meticulous process of unearthing critical evidence. During the investigation, several lines of inquiries were explored with the support of several entities. These entities include the Institute of Forensic and Legal Medicine, the offices of the Director of Public Prosecution, the Major Investigation Division team, Counterterrorism and Organized Crime, CTOC, the Technical Services Division, TSD, National Intelligence Bureau, NIB, the St. Andrew North, CIB, the Area 5 Crime Officer, the ACP and team from CIB headquarters, and all other key stakeholders. We encourage anyone who may possess valuable information related to this investigation to assist us in our pursuit of justice. Your cooperation is critical in helping us to better piece together the puzzle. Your trust and collaboration play a vital role in upholding the values of justice and security that we strive to provide. Together we can ensure that our communities remain safe and justice prevails. If you have any information, please contact our dedicated hotlines at 119-311-811, the Major Investigation Division at 876-758-5048, or visit our nearest police station.
A senior paralegal was shot and killed in her car along Washington Boulevard in St. Andrew on Thursday morning. The deceased has been identified as Sanja Risden of Nunes, Schofield & Co. law firm. Risden had been employed at the company for over 34 years. Reports suggest that Risden was traveling alone in a grey Toyota Corolla along the roadway when, upon reaching a section of Washington Boulevard and Aldane Drive, a motorcycle with 2 men aboard approached. The pillion rider reportedly pulled out a firearm and opened fire at Risden. A police corporal who was driving his private car and witnessed the incident, gave chase. The gunman reportedly pointed his firearm at the lawman, who pulled his service weapon and fired at the gunman while continuing the pursuit. Upon reaching the intersection of Washington Boulevard and Savannah Avenue, the pillion rider once again pointed his firearm at the lawman, who aborted the chase. The assailants then escaped in the area. It is unknown if any of the gunmen were injured. Riz then was rushed to hospital, where she was pronounced dead. The Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA, says it has located the girl who was seen being stomped on by a woman who is her mother in a now viral video. Chief Executive Officer of the CPFSA, Lorette Adams Thomas, says the police have been made aware of the case and are expected to take the appropriate action. Our investigations team was able to quickly locate the child. We can confirm that the woman seen assaulting her in the video is her mother. The 15-year-old child is now in the care of her father and is currently receiving medical attention at the hospital, she said. She said the CPFSA will continue to follow up with the child to offer psychological, psychosocial, and any other forms of necessary intervention. A 14-year-old girl was reportedly abducted and raped by 3 men in St. James on Tuesday. The men reportedly pulled the student into their car while she was on her way to school, the police said. A manhunt has since been launched for the abductors. Reports are that around 8 a.m., the teen was heading to school when a white Mark X motorcar with 3 men stopped at her feet. One of the men then pulled her inside the car, which then sped off. The men reportedly drove to her premises. They parked, pulled the complainant from the car, and took her to an abandoned, unfinished concrete house. There, the police said the men took turns raping the girl. The teen managed to escape her attackers and ran to a nearby house, where the occupants alerted the police. The child was taken into protective care. A report was subsequently made and an investigation initiated. Rochelle Foster, the woman charged with the 2019 stabbing death of 23-year-old national footballer Tarania Clark, was this afternoon found guilty of manslaughter. The unanimous verdict was handed down in the home circuit court by the 7-member jury. The 25-year-old defendant, who was being tried for murder, was remanded for sentencing on February 29 by Justice Leighton Pusey. The prosecution led evidence during the trial, which started on January 8, that on October 31st, both women had a dispute over a cellular phone in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew, when a knife was used to stab Clark, otherwise called Plum Plum. The Reggae Girls midfielder, who was also the captain of the Waterhouse Football Club's women's team, was taken to the hospital where she was pronounced dead. Foster was later arrested and charged. The defendant, however, maintained that Clark was accidentally stabbed. She also indicated that she had reached for her knife in self-defense. Attorney John Jacobs and Courtney Rowe represented the defendant. A woman who was attempting to board a flight to London, England, was arrested on Wednesday at the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston after 4.8 kilograms of cocaine was reportedly found in her luggage. The drugs had an estimated street value of US $144,000. The police say the woman checked in to board the flight about 5 p.m. The cocaine was discovered concealed in milk packages in her suitcase at the security checkpoint. She was subsequently arrested on reasonable suspicion of breaches of the Dangerous Drugs Act. Her identity is being withheld pending further investigations. And that is it for your news roundup for today. We would appreciate you liking this video, leaving a comment, and sharing the video with your family and friends. Have a good evening and see you next time.